I certainly known a lot of guys who were total players.
Yeah.
Even when they were with someone, married or otherwise, players. But when it came to being a dad, they took it so serious.
Yeah.
And that's really what it was about.
Yeah.
The desire for a child was more than the desire for a mate.
Well, it was interesting because I
Sorry to say.
No, I had a period in the early 2000s where I was like, totally had baby fever. Where like the friend that you have that has a kid, you're like way too involved thinking about that kid.
Do you think that comes from having a hard scrabble childhood of your own?
No, I think it was just this period. It was a period where
But doesn't that come from somewhere like that?
No, I think it was that period of life.
I mean, you didn't have I had a Leave It to Beaver upbringing.
Yeah.
You did not.
Not necessarily.
Right? You were not Leave It to Beaver.
No,
I was Leave It
No, but
to...
you're drilling my thought. Let me finish. So it's like... Yeah.
Well, that's my job.
So it was like I had this, this baby fever and then all of a sudden, after like a year or 2 years, and like during that period of time, I was like, hey, if the waitress at the Mexican restaurant, if she ends up getting pregnant, well, I guess that's just how it's supposed to be.
Really?
If I wasn't trying to make that happen, but
I think I know that restaurant.
Yeah. But if it were to happen, okay, well, I guess that's the way.
I know that restaurant.
That's the way it's supposed to be. But then the fever broke.
Really?
Then the fever broke.
That's odd.
And then I remember telling that to Howard Stern, and then the fever broke, and I was like, well, good. Good for you.
Right.
And then I had another 20 years or so. Again. Yeah. But
maybe because you fell in love with someone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that came because it was the right woman, and it was the right situation, and it was the right time. And everything was right.
If it's not too personal, as such a lifelong bachelor, how do like, what was it that went in your mind? Like, oh, this is the right person. Like, this is the different element I've been waiting for.
I think it was It's a well asked question. The way you put it, I think there's two things. I think there's her, and I think there's something else. I think maybe 2 or 3 years earlier, I was like, okay, if I meet the right girl, I might be ready now for something like this. If it were to happen. Where before I might have put the brakes on, now I might not put the brakes on so much. Now I'm very open to it. And then I even had a couple of girlfriends in that time. I'm like, is this the one? Is this the one? They weren't, but just even the fact that I was open to the idea that they were the one.
I'm just very glad to find out that you had this memorable bachelorhood, because like your image is sort of like this nerdy guy who's like too hunkered down writing the screenplay at Swingers to actually enjoy his success.